trying to wake me up. The kitty. Oh, it's morning time here. Sleeping is fantastic. I'm underneath my mosquito net. I'll lift that up. But sleeping here is amazing. We have these thick mud walls these are all handmade mud walls. And it's like being surrounded by the earth material. And the ceiling, the roof, there's like a gap in between the wall and the roof where fresh air comes in. And it's so quiet. It's completely quiet. I've never experienced it being this quiet. Like even in a campground, you hear other people. But here there's no noise. There's no dogs barking. There's no chickens. There's no cars driving by or motorcycles. It's absolutely 100% quiet. And it's dark. Completely dark. There's no yard lights. There's nothing. It's just dark and quiet. And I asked Stephen about that. I'm like, why is there no noises from any animals at all? Nothing. And he said it's because the animals all feel secure. You know, they're all in their shelter. They're all in their place. And there's nothing barking at each other. So you don't hear a thing until almost 6:30 when the birds start chirping and maybe the chickens wake up. But it's almost 6:30 now and I haven't even heard a chicken yet. So anyway, it's time to get up. The next thing on my list is to get some exercise. Oh, my morning walks are so amazing. I wish I had access to this all the time. It's just like, it's quiet. I can hear the birds chirping and I'm barefoot so I get to feel the ground beneath my feet. And these are the trails that go from one person's home to another person's home. So like we would consider them to be roads because it's how you get around throughout the village. But it's not a road, everybody's walking. So everybody's on foot and they go from one house to another through these walking trails. So see here, we hit another trail and then there's the trail going that way. But I'm gonna go this way because then I get to walk up a hill. And this walking route is fantastic because I have a nice big hill. So it gets my heart rate up and going. But yeah, it's perfect. And sometimes people walk with me, but today I'm out here taking a walk by myself this morning, but it's totally safe. I'm just right outside our property and everybody in the village has greeted us. The chief came, visited with us, and they're all keeping watch and it's just like one big family. It's wonderful. All right, it's time for me to take my bath now that I'm done exercising. And underneath my bed is my bath basin. Everybody has their own bath basin that you keep track of, and everybody has their own basket with their bathing supplies. So in my basin, I just put my towel, and then I put my clothes that I'm gonna wear, and it's time to head over to the shower. In order for me to take a bath, a fire is started and the water is heated on the wood stove. These are the facilities. The two stalls on the right are for going to the bathroom. They call them latrines. And the one on the left is the bath house. So usually before taking a bath, we use the latrine first. So I'll show you what that looks like. This is probably the hardest for any American missionary to get used to. So this is how you use the bathroom. And you squat. It's a pit dug in the ground. And after the pit is full, then this building is disassembled and a new one is built somewhere else. So everything goes back to the earth. And most people from America really struggle with squatting, but I will tell you, it is so much better on your colon to be in that position. Usually there's no hemorrhoids in areas where people are squatting, and it's just something different to get used to. But anyway, over here is the bath house. This is where I will be taking my bath. So in order to get started, I take my clothes and I hang them up over the door. So I just hang them up there. And then my towel, they have a nail. So I can come along and just hang my towel up over the nail. It's hard to do filming myself. So I got my towel hung up. Now I have two pails. One is hot water and one is cold water. So Let's see. This is the hot. So I just come here, remove my little basket, and first I pour in the hot water. How to do that one-handed. Oh, that's hard. After pouring in the hot water, then I pour in cold water to get it to the right temperature. So now I'm just gonna close the door and bathe in this little outdoor bathing house. When I'm all done, I can pour that bucket of water over my head if I want to rinse at the very end. And then there's just a little drain hole back there where all the water is dumped. So that's getting my bath taken in Kenya. Now I'm gonna brush my teeth, so I use bottled water. I just put a little bit in my little tiny cup. And the toothpaste for traveling, it's really nice to get toothpaste that, because they don't let regular toothpaste on a plane. So I have these little tablets that dissolve in your mouth and then you brush your teeth. So anyway, gonna go outside and brush my teeth. All right, in order to fix my hair, I kind of need a mirror. I'm kind of used to having a mirror, but the best I can find is just the reflection that I see in this TV monitor screen. So they do have it hooked up to TV, but it's never on during the day. I've noticed that they'll put it on at the end of the evening for maybe 20 minutes and catch the news to stay current on what's going on in the world. So for me, I can just barely see myself, but it's enough to do my hair. So I can just pull my hair up, and this is my mirror to get ready every morning. If I want to put some makeup on, I use my phone on the camera mode, and I just turn it onto the selfie. So it's facing me. And I can do one eye, and then I can turn it around, and I can see to do the other eye. And that's how I can get it accomplished without a mirror. Morning, the kids are waking up. They're getting ready to start their day. Hello. Habari Asabui. All right, it is 6:30 in the morning, and today I'm capturing what is a typical day like for an African child in Kenya. But keep in mind, they're not in school today. This is the holiday winter break, so they're not in school. But anyway, one of the first tasks, 6:30 in the morning, is the yard is swept. So they have a homemade broom. See the homemade broom he's using? And they will sweep the entire yard, and then everything that's captured from sweeping the yard will be used to mulch a garden bed. Right. James is also helping to sweep the yard and gather mulch material for the garden. This is very important. You know, everybody in the family eats, so everybody in the family participates with the production of food. And every single member of the family contributes something, and they all rotate jobs so that all of them know what to do. Should some of them perish, the rest of the family knows how to survive. He's coming in, he's got to clean out all of the manure and get that over to the compost area. He's got to sweep and prepare the bed. They're already milked at 4:30. But the next job for the children is to take the cows outside and allow the cows to have fresh air and be free outside. So that's what they're doing right now, is taking the cows out. This is Mary. Mary's getting a chance to enjoy the outdoors. And then over here is Janet. And these two cows produce milk 11 months out of the year.
Yeah, this is Wendy befriending Mary.
Yes, so these cows are so friendly because they feel so secure and they're so loved that they're just part of the family, and they live with you as part of the family.
Exactly.
Yes. The outside of the house is all swept as well. So the whole yard is swept, the outside of the building is swept, the inside is swept and mopped, and every morning the whole house is so clean. And this morning, Jen is doing her dishes, so sometimes meal gets served after sundown, and it makes it difficult if you're doing dishes outside. So then they're just washed in the morning and set up there to dry. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning, Wendy.
Their next job is to completely clean out this cow pen. And all of this material that is gathered will be taken to a compost pile area in the garden. Then the girls come in and they mop the floors and they get this sitting room all cleaned up. All the covers that are on the couches will be all straightened up. The tables will be straightened up, and this room will be ready for the next activity of this room, which is morning devotions. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, a fire is getting started under the stove for two purposes. One, they're gonna make African morning tea, but then they're gonna start boiling big buckets of water so that everybody can take a bath. Now wood is being gathered and split to be used for fuel. So there he is with a machete, splitting up the wood to be used for fuel and cooking. So this is a rack where they can gather firewood and leave it there and then split it as is needed. And then it'll become over here and used in the fire. So there they got both burners going this morning. Awesome. So the inside of the house was mopped, and now she's proceeding to mop the outside of the house. So pretty soon everything will be squeaky clean and we will have all taken our baths. Meanwhile in here, they're continuing to gather all of the manure, and you can see he's piling it all up into this wheelbarrow that will be taken over to the composting area. The splitting of firewood is not limited to only the boys. Everybody in the family must learn every single chore. In case something happens to some of the family members, the rest have to know how to survive. All right, the children are coming back now from the garden. What they've done is cut Napier grass that was growing there, and this is going to be chopped up somewhat and put in the bins for the cows to eat. Our children are on to their next chore for the day. This is the Napier grass that they gathered for the cows. So now they just have to use a machete and some rock, and they can chop this up, and this will all be captured into bags that are stacked in the barn where the cows are, and then they can just pour this right into the feeding troughs for the cows. So growing all of their own food for their own cows. The children came and they brought us lunch. They had their lunch. Now they're just doing cleanup. Oh, I didn't get a chance to capture this, but this afternoon they did the laundry. They just use a soapy bucket and a rinse bucket and just squeeze it out and lay them up wherever they can get them to dry, on top of trees or whatever. And now it's time to start getting ready for supper. So collard greens were collected from the garden, and this girl here is slashing the collard greens. So instead of using a cutting board, they hold the greens tight in their palm, and then they just cut against it with their knife, and they're able to shred them really nice and fine. They do get time to play, and their play is so innocent. Look at them here playing with this truck, quote unquote truck, that's an old empty laundry soap jug. She did it! Yay! She made her own dress!
Yes,
Look how beautiful she looks! Spin around for us, Jen! Look at that!
Yes.
Let me see the backside!
Yes.
Wow!
Yes.
Look at that! So Jen knew how to thread a needle, she knew how to tie a knot, but she didn't know how to actually make a dress. So with just a few short lessons, and now she can make clothing for herself and her children.
Yes.
Amen!
Amen.
One of the things I've discovered is that oftentimes the women are not very educated, they struggle with English, and if I really want to help teach them skills, things they can use for income generation, ways that they can save money, it's really difficult to use an interpreter all the time. So please pray for me. I'm going to try to put in 5 to 10 minutes a day now learning Swahili.
Yahweh, we glorify
This is the cave of the elephants. The elephants come and sleep in here at night. You can even see their droppings and everything are still here. But this is on top of Mount Elgon. This is our play day for our annual retreat. Oh, community which used to live here.
And then that community is
And they used to practice circumcision? That's interesting.
no. Wait. See these big bats live in the cave.
Oh, I just don't like
Not
them.
come. No, they not come. Big bats. We are in a very huge damn cave. See that? See that? I've never been in something like this before. It's mind blowing. My sister is on her knee right now. She have taken cover in the fear of bat. She can't even open her eyes. I wish I could put camera on her.
I'm looking.
She's so scared right now.
So,
And I'm standing right here
during the
in the
day,
midst of
those
it all.
bats like staying in total darkness, such that at night is when they get out.
Babies down here, they're little ones, to come to the water to drink because the young ones don't have a trunk to scratch the salt off from the rock. So the mamas come, they scratch the
See
salt
how far
off,
we
it
have
goes
come
in the
in the
water, and the little ones drink. So then they drink the salty water.
So we're gonna thank you, Wendy.
Yeah.
Yes. I just take this opportunity to thank you, Wendy, for all that you have done to ensure that at least we see new world, a world where our long-time fathers used to stay with their families,
Yes.
where people could sleep in a cave which is total darkness, 100% dark, where you can't imagine that in this world there is day and night, but they used to live. We just thank God that He has given us another chance to see such a moment.
Yes, and so
From
many
creation.
people. So many people have taken shelter in caves throughout the years. You know,
Yes.
David and during times of war. And Ernest, weren't you kind of compelled to just the awe and wonder of God's creation?
You know, as you mentioned something very important right now about David escaping into the cave. Now I understand what a cave looked like. And that brings me into real context of real understanding when the Bible mentioned about cave. The second revelation I got on this trip is that God created a house in the middle of rock. And water,
That had water in it.
Water in it. And those
Yeah.
water have an outlet. It's not just water that is
Fresh water.
And
that
it's
is
fresh,
sitting.
clean water, yeah.
I was so humbled about that. The next thing I was very humbled about, I've never seen darkness this thick. That no one could see each other, even though we were standing just a meter apart from one another.
Yeah.
We couldn't see each other. That was amazing, and it humbles me a lot. And I want to be grateful to Yeshua for this trip, and to you, Wendy, for the opportunity to support us as team members.
Yeah, this was our play day today.
Yeah, so
Go out and enjoy God's
today
creation.
is the end of Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, yes, the last day.
And I mean, that's so fantastic that we are driving, we are triumphing together.
Yeah.
So
And maybe,
thank you
Amen.
so much.
and
Amen.
maybe because we hear David ran into the cave, it means those days they were used to life in the caves.
Yeah.
Because were it not that they were used to, he couldn't have ran to that. And then if we look around, we see on the roof of the cave, it is dark.
From
which
them
mean-
cooking. Yeah.
Smoke from cooking,
Yeah.
and at least from fire to keep them warm.
Yes.
And it is so nice. Eh?
Yeah, and even the sleeping areas way back in, they
And
took
one thing-
pieces of
one thing I
sod and
learned-
animal skins.
One thing I learned that was
Awesome.
so visible, the cave was created out of volcano, and there is still
Volcano, out of a volcano.
Yeah, and there is still tree roots
Yeah.
and tree stem that is locked in the rock. It's not man creation. I mean, nobody will do that.
Yes.
God is just mysterious, and I want to say, Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Shalom. driving by and saw these animals, so we stopped to take a look. We got zebras, and I think it's related to a deer. That one, yeah, type of deer. And then over here, well, I shouldn't go so fast, but over here, we have to not scare these guys because these are water buffaloes, and they will charge. Yeah, they will charge. There's still a lot of work being done behind the scenes, but I gotta cut this video short. So we're still working on the kitchen. We'll show it in the next video next week. And we're working on our 2026 planning. We had a fasting day for that to see what the Lord would show us for 2026. And Stephen received a really cool vision and wrote it all out. And so there's lots of amazing stuff for me to share next week. But for now, have a good week. Thanks for praying for us. Take care. Love you.